Hi, I'm Dallas, fan of Hulu's Murders Only in the Building, and here we're going to dive into Charles-Hayden Savage, the host of the podcast within the show, Murders Only in the Building. There's a lot of strange things going on with this guy. Steve Martin has played a plethora of characters throughout his career, spans over 30 years. I like to question things, and let's question Charles as a character. In the words of Mabel Mora, what if he was a dick? What if he was just not a good person and we haven't seen it yet? And when you look at the character of Charles-Hayden Savage, we don't know too much about his background. A little bit of story that he's given Jan, a little bit he's given Mabel, but we've seen a lot more. We understand the character as a whole and their journey in a good part of their life for Mabel and Oliver Putnam. But Charles, we see him only in a positive light. There's no negativeness that's ever come from his character. Only the illusion that he believes that he could do it and that he decided not to, which is strange in itself. But I believe the story of Murders Only in the Building shows that everyone has secrets, everyone has flaws, everyone has some dark past or things they don't want to be seen to the light of day or admit that they've done. And I'm just wondering, what is that for Charles? In order to fully understand it, we got to step back and understand that Murders Only in the Building was created by Steve Martin. It was a story he had, and he was joined with a man named John Hoffman, I believe, and both of those stories together melded into what it is today. And since Steve Martin was the person who created this show, it's not just a story about three people in a hotel. Yes, it is, but the guy who writes it usually puts himself a little bit more at the forefront of the story itself. You know, it ties into them personally more, and we haven't seen this story itself tie into him in any way, shape, or form. The 9th episode description, half of it says that Charles will be visited by an old colleague who will shed light on his past. This is a very Charles-Hayden Savage centric episode. About half of the episode at least will focus on Charles. The penultimate episode, the next last episode, is revolving more about Charles. Doesn't that seem strange? He has something very serious going on in his life that we do not know about. Now, can we figure out what some of that could be? Well, that's what we're going to do now. Now, the timeline that Charles states is a little bit iffy. There seems like there could be some contradictory things. He says in episode 1, Mabel says, "How do I know you?" Mabel, while they're out to dinner, before they even find the body of Tim Kono, Mabel says, "How do I know you?" And then Oliver just assumes that it is from the show Brazos. Charles-Hayden Savage plays the titular character. But maybe Mabel knows him from the past. Later that episode, when he's picking a lock, Charles states about how everyone thought he was like his father and that he did not take it as a compliment. But he also said that he's been alone in the hotel for 28 years and that he did not feel like he should be in relationships because he felt like he could be a lot like his father. And his father wasn't particularly nice to his mother, that he would make her feel small and stupid and weak and useless. So we understand that about him. But when he speaks to Jan, he states that his last relationship, it could have been 28 years ago, was with Lucy's mother, and it ended badly with them leaving him on a cruise. But if that relationship was 28 years ago, and Lucy was, I believe he stated, 7 years old, that would make Lucy a little bit older than Mabel now. Give or take 5 to 8 years, I'm guessing. I'm not sure how old Mabel is. Very late 20s to early 30s. I'm guessing about 29. Mabel is supposed to be. So Lucy should be about 35 or so. Could they have known each other? Could maybe Mabel have seen something between Lucy and Charles, or Charles' father, Lucy's mother and Charles. Could there have been some strange interactions between the family, or who knows? Or did it just not happen 28 years ago and it definitely happened more recent, and Charles just doesn't want Mabel to know that, because the past, something tells me the past between Charles-Hayden Savage ex and her daughter Lucy was not, or did not end for the reasons he stated. He may believe that they ended for those reasons, that he was looking for the family life for Lucy, and his mother did not think that was necessary for the lifestyle she wanted to live and what she wanted for her daughter, and he was trying to push that on her. Maybe, but we'll see. But there's other things strange going on here. So when Charles, if what he said is correct, 28 years ago was his last relationship, he would have still been filming Brazos. He was still filming Brazos while dating Lucy's mother. What are the chances that he could have taken that whole Brazos bad cop mentality home to his girlfriend and daughter? Maybe not in a good way, being overbearing and rude. I could see, I've not seen a whole episode of Brazos, but it seems as if he could be a cocky cop who thinks he knows better than everything. I'm not going to try and condense the idea of what is Brazos in one, but cops can have some bad traits. Characters have bad traits. And if he brought those traits over to his personal life, that could be a problem. And he's a true crime podcast fan. He loves podcasts. He is a detective. He's played a detective. You could tell he still enjoys being a part of that life. Maybe even states he still thinks he's on the show. I remember in the early 90s loving unsolved mysteries and shows like that. What if Charles-Hayden Savage has been a fan of this stuff for the longest time? Could he have been investigating Zoe's death as if he was on the show, a fake detective becoming a real detective and trying to find out what happened? Could he have been on the tail of Teddy Demas the whole entire time, or the tail of Tim Kono, or working with him even, trying to find out what's been going on? I don't know. Charles is very interesting, and I never know if he's playing us or if he's just showing us what he thinks we should see. If he was being a detective, he would even be falling into that old trope that the detective falls in love with the bad girl and she dies. It still fit into the whole detective guy trope. Like he's doing the same thing as his character would do, but in real life. The show is very meta, so it makes sense that they would do something like that. Another thing that I've kind of noticed, it seems as if Charles has had some memory issues. He did not remember when Zoe died. He states he said it was foggy because of some drugs he was taking because of weight gain, I'm guessing, and he forgot the name of Oliver's dog, even though it was poisoned. Winnie. I was thinking it was Evelyn for a minute. I don't know why. And he often just looks lost when he looks around, like he's not sure what's going on. And I'm not really sure what's going on with all of it. Maybe he has some things that he can't remember even, or things that he's done and he just can't recall. I think Mabel met him in the past. One reason or another, they have crossed paths, and I don't think it was in a good way. Maybe that was the point, or around that time was the point where Charles-Hayden Savage realized that he's not a good person in relationships, and him getting with Jan is an attempt to actually feel something like that again, even though he knows he shouldn't. I don't trust him. He's too good. And it'd be nice for Steve Martin to give himself a character that he hasn't ever played before, something a little bit darker. Either way, I'm loving this show. That's just a little bit into Charles-Hayden Savage, some of the things he stated that I think might be of importance in the upcoming episode that comes out less than probably 12 hours after I get this out. But what do you guys think of his character arc now that you've seen this or seen episode 9? What do you think is going to happen with him in the last episode? How do you think he's going to tie together for the whole story itself? It's explained. What do you like about Charles-Hayden Savage the most? Better yet, who's your favorite character and why is it Oliver Putnam? I'm going to eat these gummy worms and then see you guys on the roof.